morning.
Good morning.
Hello.
Which station are you with?
Channel 5.
Fantastic. There is coffee and cookies out in front if you'd also like to have some.
Okay.
Thanks for being here.
Yep. Good. Good. I pulled up to the front. And I'm like, crap, where do I go in? I did too.
That's every.
And then I was like, looked at my email and I'm like, crap, door 9.
Yeah.
Well, shoot. I just, by the time they called me, it's like, I just gave the address. And it's like, I did the same thing.
Oh.
But then I got out of the car and I thought, well, I can see 6, I can see 12, 9's gotta be.
I figured 9 was right around the corner, but it was back of the building.
Oh, all around this.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
there, then I went over here.
Yep.
My crap, where's
It
that?
is a little bit of a, yep.
And then I followed all.
Yeah, no,
Yep.
I got it.
Yeah, well, you gotta do, yeah, what logically makes sense and then do the opposite. That's what I think about it.
That's exactly. Well, and you
It's like,
take a
well,
little.
this would make sense if you did that, so it's probably not that. It's
Yeah.
usually the case it seems to be with things like that.
And
Yeah.
it made a little more sense until we had to
Yes.
remove around just because they used the ADA spot.
Yes.
So Suite 6 used to be kind of in a
Yes,
spot that
we
made
slowly
sense.
gained more spots in the building, and I think that's what's,
It's kind of, because then they didn't want to switch our number, which is community living.
Oh.
They didn't want to switch our number.
yeah.
Oh.
Because that would just be way too complicated.
Sure.
And it would not make any sense to anyone.
We'll just
So.
confuse everybody.
It would have confused people more. So we moved to the front where Suite 6 is, and then they.
But
got
I
it
seen
around.
Suite 12, how many suites do you go up to?
I think we're Suites, I think it's like, I think it is 12.
I think 12's the one it goes up to,
Yep, I think it goes up to 12 because we have 1 through 12.
Oh, okay.
So we like combine like 6, 7, 8, right? Like all of my
Yeah,
area.
yeah.
And then yeah, you combine like 1 through 5 or whatever, ADA. Yeah. Because then our main corporate office where the head people are in Richfield, over next to the school.
Oh,
So this is like one of our biggest, this is our biggest office, but then the corporate office is in Richfield next to the school.
oh, okay.
We're in Richfield.
Right off of
Yeah,
Penn,
Penn
Penn
Ave.
Crosstown.
Oh, okay.
Like literally right off of Penn Crosstown. You just, we're a parking lot over from the Aldi. Or not the Aldi, the ones in Byerly's.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Very
Yeah,
cool.
so right where that one is on the corner with the new
Yep.
apartment in
Yep.
there,
Yeah.
right behind there.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I used to live over there.
Yep.
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah.
that's where the school is and our facilities and a few other places. I was very happy the day they moved accounting over here though.
Yeah, we used to all be in that corporate building.
Oh, my
That
gosh.
used to be marketing, development,
Yep.
that used to be HR, we were all
Yes, you were.
in there. And,
Well, I was happy when they moved accounting away from the building across, like,
yeah,
you know.
accounting was in there with us, it was everybody.
Yeah, and I think-
Facility, we all fit in that building
It was
together.
all, well, because then we couldn't get into accounting constantly, did they get into accounting?
You know, I'm just gonna get.
Yeah, we all used to be there.
I'll just pull my kid accomplish fast.
Which is wild to think about all
Oh
of
my
us
gosh, it is wild.
being able to fit in one spot like that now. Like, that's
How long ago was that, Mayor?
15 years?
I said they just switched it over during, right after COVID.
Well, no, we were all in.
Oh, you were all in the bigger building, that's right,
Right,
right, 'cause
years
years ago, I
ago.
remember that, and then you guys built a little building for.
And then before we took over the 3 on 10.
Yeah.
But every,
I can't imagine just building sitting in there with all that crap now.
Yes.
They have in their big warehouse. I've gone in their warehouse every year to go in there, cause that's where we get all of our salt from, and instead of, and like sand, so we'll go in there quite a bit to get extra. It's insane the stuff they keep in there.
yeah, because otherwise, it's 1, 2, 3, I mean, I think marketing and development had like 4 offices. We were doubled up in 3 of them.
Ew. Well, cause then is the school, like, behind the school, there was also corporate
Hey,
offices that in the school area in the building, right?
Just a few now.
Just a
I
few
mean,
now?
maybe, how many offices are in that school? Because they turned a bunch of the old offices offices.
Oh, okay, that's why people go in there now, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's not.
It's just the school admin now, okay.
It's not very many at all. I mean, Diane's still there, Carolyn, Jim, but.
You should just say
I couldn't
like,
remember who was in the school still, because I've gotten there, I've only go there like every once in a while.
Not a lot of people at all.
Last
yep.
time I went there is because.
Channel 2, the test 1 2 1 2 test test test. Hello, hello, hello. Good. All right.
I'm just gonna give these to the school.
There you go.
All right.
Thanks, bye. Yep.
Bye.
It's freezing in here. I just, oh my gosh.
I feel good. I'm saying, I feel good too.
I want to put a sweatshirt on. I want to put a blanket on. I want to sit down.
How you gonna
Yeah,
roll
Laura,
you
put
gonna
it
roll
on my
on this
lap.
pretty cool thing?
Thank you.
Yep.
She would love our house, wouldn't she?
All right, cool. Thanks. Bye.
So you do what I would do. Just go shoot those shots and then people back and. Then it gets hung up sometime because I'll shoot something like pork package go through. They're gonna come beat you sack information. I don't care what you know, if something falls short to where. Or, do you have enough there to get packages from one of these two nice fruit bags? But no, it's the bulk of it.
Get on Teams right now.
Come around
They
and
know.
go.
I was gonna say they all know we're at this press conference.
That's what to say. Kelly knows,
And I'm almost
Sheila
tempted
knows
to
me, so they know better
drive
than
straight
me, and I told
through,
Caitlin.
because I called it past, it's like, well, we got
And I
this
don't know, that
this.
she's the one who never, so.
Yeah, I don't, I just cut to the station.
Do you just, you take that moment?
You can turn on the front pocket thing.
You keep it like on the weekends?
I need one.
I have to return mine. Otherwise that.
Oh, I'm sorry, you point that, no, I gotta return, I pick it up Monday, return it Friday.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they,
Yeah, I keep, all this is, I keep all that. It's just, I pick that up on Monday and then I just return it on Friday for a head home.
Yeah.
I have Monday left.
You know what?
Somebody that has to like the same.
oh, good. Sure.
Did they send a meeting
I'll
invite?
bet it's good.
No.
Yeah, they look
Wonderful.
into it, cause they need a couple of things, like, we can
I
just.
think they wanted to
I gotta come back to the
about-
station, we're gonna miss the event. Go drink your life. I get up late and miss the event.
The intended.
I go over straight
That's
now.
what I do. Mark the time.
How can you do that? There's enough
To
there.
just be, I was on
And then they,
Facebook, and she's saying to me the other day,
They wanted to meet.
for sure, whether it's work, he just keeps it, cause he's always gonna
Always
be
gonna be
alive, so.
That's,
Somebody was
that's,
bringing them an invite, but after
Who's
they
that?
Rob.
That's Rob, yeah.
Joined.
Which makes sense. Cause photographers can change,
They wanted
you'll
to
be the
do like
assistant
a
on it.
Yeah.
brand.
I mean, how much more can we talk about that?
I can truly happy to send him whatever we have edits to the process and it's like, just let it be for now. We just finally got it approved. How you doing?
good.
Good.
Have fun for the weekend.
No, I don't. My wife might. So, we'll find out tonight or tomorrow morning. Little house projects all over inside, outside.
Yeah.
I'll fart around and do some of them things. See where it goes there.
That's what we should say. Oh, I like that. Right?
But, don't we already put something out with that?
I think she sent something, but I think we should have at the thing, we should say, I learned that idea. That's her idea. I like that idea.
What's in the hot talk? You should put
I
a
think
little
it's
in
like
there.
725 or something.
Oh.
But that's a weird number.
That's a weird number. I would
Well,
say,
cause it adds all the ones together, that's probably why.
yeah.
They take all the separate ones, right, like what's the goal for silent, what's the goal for, and then they add them together, so I don't think they think about.
I need fun numbers.
Right, I think that's why, yes, I think that's
That's
why.
why you.
Clean my face.
Oh.
community living was actually pretty decent.
Yeah.
So hopefully
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Must be a huge desk.
It's a big desk.
This is my first year after being put out.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
So I'm
I
gonna do
used to
that.
like to shop there. I go there.
And just shampoo the carpet.
I don't
We
have
have to,
time.
we have to get our
So,
ducks.
I've been on everything
I used to go down
beforehand.
to
Construction over the
Yeah.
last, over the winter.
Oh, sure.
We just
I-
haven't got
When
to
they
that yet.
pre-launch it, I'll
Just having
bid on a whole bunch of stuff, and then the entire night I just get notifications, you've been outbid, but I don't have time
To bid on
to
that.
bid on it, so it's like,
Okay.
yep, I got outbid on everything,
Yeah.
cause I was the first bid in,
Yeah.
and
I went on an auction before I bought something.
What'd you buy?
They had an auction at Jessica's church and it was like a thing with balloons in there, popcorn buckets,
Yep.
and tickets and
that's
stuff.
fun.
We just
That's what I-
bought
Another
some
one
pictures
I
in our
won
basement, so
was a remote control car.
Cool.
That is
Pretty
cool.
cool, I gave it to my nephew.
That is cool.
My wife
was
is like
cool.
Oh, look, Connie finished her
8
reimbursement.
steps ahead of me in the basement.
I just got the email saying,
How
yeah,
well this
your
one is
reimbursement's
for
good.
storage.
Well, it's, unfortunately, I would say community living was a holdup.
Because we gotta do utility, but we didn't.
We are always improving our expenses later.
No, our problem is
That
that
finished
we're
our
getting
basic
rid of
shelves.
one of our supervisors doing.
Then the
Because
storage.
her caseload just like boom.
I don't understand the cutoff lately, because
Now
I
it's just
took
all
mine
the
early because I had to use a
stacked up on
chair.
shelves and whatnot,
Yeah.
so.
I got so annoyed, so, cause I had to work at our state fair building, so then I submitted it in.
Slash storage.
And then you have it, well.
And then,
years
and
ago.
I was like, I'm
I always
early,
get
I'm
something
in,
I
I'm
have.
done, and then it got shot back to me, and it was like, nope, you had, and I was like,
I build it.
So
really from
No,
one?
I
yeah.
literally had to email
So,
John and be like, John,
Probably.
you do realize Walmart has a
So that's,
post in
that's our
2020
wall.
sometimes
Right,
on 25th.
going up to about
But
right
Walmart is
here.
the worst.
Yeah.
I
It's
might
all
all know.
wood.
Walmart is the worst.
It's
Yeah,
suspended.
Amazon does that too, though.
Amazon's a little better, but Walmart,
But it's
I'm not
just-
kidding you,
it's
you think
like
Amazon's bad? Walmart is
that
like
shy
7
of
days later, I
the
finally
floor.
my
Yeah.
expense from last
That
week.
wanted to go
And I do
on
weekly
the
groceries.
floor
Yeah.
in case
And I was
the
so John, I'm
wires-
like, John, I
Yep.
can't
Buds.
stop the day I put groceries.
So-
Yeah,
It comes every Sunday.
have
I
it
actually
one-
have said
so everything
to
is
my
completely
team of people,
suspended
because I
from the
do
ceiling.
Yeah.
our,
Except, you
work
know,
Amazon
when
account,
it's
so that it goes with the
that far
tax
from the,
exemption, all
Yeah,
that stuff,
oh,
or
yeah.
whatever.
floor.
And when people have sent me
and
stuff,
I
and
have
it's the end of the
right
month, I'll say to
But
them,
it's all,
any chance this can wait until the
It's,
beginning of
yeah,
next month,
exactly.
because I can't figure
nothing
out
moving it.
when I'm
But I
supposed to
have it
submit it
all
otherwise to
together
the
by
credit.
screws.
And
Yeah.
more often than not, people are like, yeah, it can wait, because otherwise, I try to submit my report, and then it gets sent back, and they're like, this just posted, I was like, right, but it,
So if you email John, by the way, he's very happy just to send you the, hey, this is the time, you know, this is the amount you're supposed to have.
yeah,
Yeah.
but when we all did our, like, I submitted mine in early, because
Right,
I've been
yeah,
out of
no.
here working at the fair
So you
building.
guys are busy all week.
I usually just got.
And then it was,
I
and,
get
and,
so much
and I,
crap
well,
that
because then an expense came in after, I don't know what it was, and I was like, but
Ditch
it's
it.
done and it's in, can't you just?
Nope.
What is this?
Think about
That's
buying one of those
your-
guys.
Is
Just get
it,
one.
the question?
is it this? Workspace access.
Oh, FRAMOB.
My mom out of her house to the apartment.
I know exactly what you're talking about, because we use UKG to punch it out.
Those
Ah.
So all my staff have.
I don't think
The amount of time I have to tell my staff, they just did an update to
You get
UKG
the
where I
size.
had to do
This
it
one
yesterday.
too.
Also, it might error out, try restarting the whole app. Because it did error out for me when because I had to go in for a schedule and I was on my phone because I didn't feel like opening my computer. Just a minute.
No, I set a reminder
I've seen
for
those
Wednesday,
pegs,
and then I
so
set a
you
backup
can
reminder
buy
for
this.
Thursday.
You guys have that just
Just
here?
also.
We have to,
Yeah, you just
we have to
call.
approve
Plug
it.
them up.
Oh,
Whatever phone
oh, that's right, you
number's
guys approve, I
on it.
do
Yeah.
not, that's why, I don't have any salary, sorry, my head.
Yep, yep, yeah, no, we don't have to like punch it in and out, we have to
I was gonna say, I
approve
don't go to my
everybody's.
front card anymore. I don't even look at my front card anymore, I just am like, okay.
I don't look at anything, I just say approve, approve, approve.
Well, you guys are all, I have to, you guys are all salaried, I got hourly.
Yeah.
You don't want an hourly to sleep overnight. It's,
Mm.
it's a headache. I love UKG, I hate our schedule. We use UKG for scheduling out there.
Well, that's where the two, like, for salary staff is just, it's like,
Do you do a lot of taxes and stuff? I'm suggesting Costco and,
what can't you all be on more than one membership?
corporate thing, and they have to like do it.
So everybody just brings their own tax exemption form?
We tried that, it's not working anymore.
She's here. Oh, you mean like at Costco, it's not working?
Yeah, like they're making us like do letters now and stuff, because it's business.
Well, do you just have the tax exempt letter?
It doesn't work. You do what other things do now. I put it in as a suggestion and they said they're gonna look into it, but I'm just like, it was,
So when you go to Costco, you have the tax exempt letter?
so when we, right now I have a card, but if
Yeah.
we wanna get someone else on the cards,
Yeah.
right now if we want someone else to get their own card, we all have our own membership, so that's expensive, why would we do that, why wouldn't we just do one
So I shot
license membership.
Right.
And then start adding people.
Mayor
That's what I
Carter
want to
stayed
get done
St. Paul.
eventually, especially for community living.
Oh, that was yesterday?
It'll have to be both St. Paul and Costco, because
Polygons.
we use one or the other.
What do they have in
It's
that?
something I've been wanting to look into.
He cheats
I just renewed ours, it's $130.
Last year, he was at some
Imagine
school,
that
kind
between,
of on the north
you
side
know,
of St. Paul.
7-8 times.
So he
there's
kind of
what,
looks
7 or 8
around.
groups of people with their
Oh,
own
last
cars.
year, or the
So
year
it's-
before, he had it,
Yeah, why wouldn't you just do one
like in the
business account?
spring.
And that's what I've suggested. And
Oh,
It
really?
was,
Oh,
it was to pull those.
Like, I
I
mean,
mean, I already helped.
You know, the pull
I don't know how we do it, and I don't know who we put it under, right, and I
Oh,
don't know
yeah.
how
Has
to.
that overlook?
Yeah,
Well,
I guess,
that's it.
One year,
I guess I would
like, from the
just,
beginning of the
I'm
year,
waiting
it
for
was
it.
I would just
cold.
set it up and ask.
Yeah.
I don't know if you.
I'm waiting.
It was freaking cold.
I would say
out.
everybody
Yeah.
cancel your memberships, we're getting the business one. here's
We,
your
and we all
card.
have the business ones, we don't have to.
Yeah.
And I don't think I tax them otherwise,
Anyways,
but it's like,
so yesterday.
Well, that makes
Oh, yeah,
sense.
sure, and so the
That
whole
makes
area
sense.
around there is kind of like,
yeah, you do that
this
like.
is where we're going.
But I mean, Costco should just be able to, like at Target, I'll just say, here's our name, and they'll look it up, and we're in there, and then they just pull the number.
I usually don't know how that works. We were always kind of.
But I taped it,
How to
rolled it,
save,
set my
like-
stuff
like,
back
no, we're always
in
in
the
the
street
background,
with
right,
the
like,
quotes,
our
we got two of my
So you never get told those guys clean.
tournament.
Well, nobody told me, I just, when you go, I just
Mayor
know
Carter,
we don't pay tax on stuff, so I guess I know that
Went
much.
to a
But
bike.
people
We
buy
do.
stuff that they
We
know.
do, and we.
Yeah, so then you
it's easy
just,
for Walmart, especially online.
yeah.
It's
So if
easy.
you have, I mean, if you have the letter, it has our
It's
tax
like
exempt
this.
number.
You know,
Whatever
there's a
was
street
happening,
video
how
on the
something
interpreter
anymore.
that circled up below.
They are like, nope, we need a letterhead with Fraser saying that we can make an account under Fraser, like,
Oh.
I don't know, it was weird.
That seems like it's against the, like you have to, when we're in
Oh,
tax
sure.
exempt.
It was
Yeah,
good.
oh,
I don't know.
you're right, absolutely.
It's frustrating.
Yeah.
There's a, you live in one flower.
We keep these late notices.
Like they say, everyone is
She'll introduce us, but.
Anyway,
Red,
so.
just gonna, there you go. Oh, sorry, just gonna stop here. Oh, no,
Okay.
yes. Go follow me.
Sure.
Right.
Right. Yes, yep.
So now it's in the love, you know, it's,
Just this new April thing is interesting, because it's just been,
and then,
Yeah.
try to sell some.
I saw that. Good. So, you know, we can't keep individuals involved.
No, we can continue talking. It's just the sound, it's not a big deal.
Everything. So this is our apartment.
Yeah,
So we have
very
this
nice. Oh, to learn, I mean, just put this
Independent living
down.
skills, yes.
Here.
So
Wow.
Laundry, cooking skills.
Yeah.
This is a bed, so we teach them how to make a bed, so they
Uh-huh.
live in their own apartment.
Yeah.
We have groups in here usually.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, really nice. So this is,
I'm Nancy Audrey. Very nice to meet you.
yes, good to see you. And you are
I am the Chief Marketing and Development Officer here.
very good.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming to visit us.
Well, and thank you for, I'm sorry, we were gonna do this at the state fair.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Horrible day and then.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah. But thank you for being
Of
patient with us
course,
here.
of course.
Yeah.
Hi, Mary Arneson,
Hi,
Director
Mary.
of Marketing at Fraser, nice
Oh,
to meet
yeah,
you.
thank you.
Yes,
Yes,
thanks for your good work. Yeah, glad this worked out.
Yeah, hi.
Hello.
Good.
I'm Jody.
Hi, Jody. Yeah, you're gonna be talking today,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Really excited to hear from you.
Thank
You work at Goodwill, is that right?
Yeah.
What do you do there?
I, start boats and I, put them in a big conveyor belt and the conveyor belt sends them overseas.
Oh, kind of exciting to be working that, yeah.
Yes,
Cool. Very good. You like the people you work with?
yes I do. I Thank you, I appreciate it.
Hi, I'm Ashley Gleason. I am the assistant program manager and her group home manager.
Okay, very good. And where's the home? Is it near here?
It's in Eden Prairie. It's off of 169 at Anderson Lakes. The home has been open since 1995.
Oh, wow.
So,
You like that?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
so how long?
About 3 years almost.
In 2022, so it's actually almost.
4 years.
You just hit your 3 years.
Yes,
Yeah.
I made a mistake.
No, you didn't.
You did it right.
Anyway, so, very good. How many people live there? How many?
4 ladies.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, 4 ladies there. We have 25 group homes throughout the Twin Cities.
Okay.
And so this is one of them, and it's one of the quote-unquote originals to Fraser. We opened up when we first moved out of the big houses. So.
Okay, good. Good, well, maybe we're started.
Yeah.
Diane's gonna welcome us. These guys are all nice.
Yes.
Do you want to?
You know them well.
Heidi and Diane and Senator.
Okay, good. Okay, good. Okay. Okay, well, I think Diane's gonna start, right? I'm gonna take this stuff out of here. And I'm gonna get this.
You in the middle?
Yeah, that'd be good.
All right.
I think Diane's gonna start, right?
Yeah.
And then you get to go, you're like you're like the
You're the star.
All right,
star
okay.
going at the end, yeah.
I love that. That's fantastic. So, hello everyone. I'm Diane Cross, President and CEO of Fraser, one of Minnesota's oldest and largest providers of autism, mental health, and behavioral health, and disability services for individuals and families of every age. As one of only a few certified community behavioral health clinics in the nation, Fraser is transforming the future of mental health to offer truly integrated mental and physical health care. Fraser has been a leader in the disability inclusion movement since 1935, when Louise Whitbeck Fraser founded a school to teach children with disabilities who would have otherwise been institutionalized. This year, as we celebrate our 90th anniversary of continuous operation, we are working still to break down barriers of inclusion, because we believe when everyone belongs, our community is stronger. It is my pleasure today to welcome Minnesota Senator Amy Klobuchar to the Fraser Life Skills Lab to reintroduce the Able Employment Flexibility Act, a bipartisan bill that will help workers with disabilities save for their long-term needs and build financial sustainability. Welcome, a great supporter of Fraser, the Honorable Amy Klobuchar.
Thank you, Diane. Wow, that makes me feel good after coming back from Washington. We don't get quite those introductions all the time, but it is wonderful to be here at Fraser with friends and to talk about how important this is to support and help our people with disabilities in our state that want to work and they want to contribute, and we want them to contribute. And one of the ways we do that best is by making sure they're able to access employment, have the skills that they need, and that when they are ready to retire, that they're able to have, that's why it's called able, able to have their own savings and things like that. And this is something that in the last 5-10 years, Congress has gotten more and more involved in, because, 50 years ago, 100 years ago, people with disabilities weren't treated with the kind of respect we believe that they should be treated with, and that we want them to be part of our state and our country. And Minnesota's always been in the lead, so it's one of the reasons I've been one of the leaders on this work. And I want to thank Fraser, 90 years of being a leader in the disability movement. Last year they served over 15,000 Minnesotans, providing autism, mental behavioral health, and disability care. So why are we here? Well, we are here because we believe people with disabilities and their families deserve opportunities to build a better life and invest without losing access to things like Social Security and Medicaid, which is important to them as much as anyone in our country right now, that they're able to keep those benefits. So what did we do? On a bipartisan basis, back in 2014, we fought to pass the Achieving a Better Life Experience ABLE Act. So that legislation back then created these tax-free savings accounts to cover expenses like education, caregiving, transportation, and housing for someone with a disability without punishing them for the benefits they were receiving at the time. Acknowledging that if their parents wanted to help them out or anyone in their lives wanted to help them out, that they more than anyone needed these accounts set up to look ahead for their future. They made a huge difference for so many people, including clients right here at Fraser. One example of one of the guys named Peter, part-time job, we're going to get to our star in a minute of Jody, at a local grocery store running his own business as an artist, and one of his big goals was financial independence. So several years ago, he opened an ABLE account and started pouring money into that account so he was able to save for the future. And this summer, the computer he uses to do his work needed to be replaced, and he was able to use money from his ABLE account to replace it. He wouldn't have been able to replace his computer without these savings. So in 2018, so we're now back 4 years later after 2014, we passed bipartisan legislation to allow families to roll over funds from college savings accounts to an ABLE account. And in 2022, we passed another bill called the ABLE Age Adjustment Act to start eligibility to those with disabilities before age 46, starting next year. So these were some of the ways you can get things done is just inch by inch. You make these bills better, and then you also find out what do we need to make them better. The age is wrong, or maybe we want to make it better so that they can get covered in another way. So one of the things we realized, and this is actually cool because it's not going to cost any government money, yay, but we have to pass a law to get it done, is that employers actually wanted to contribute to the ABLE account. Now they could contribute to the traditional 401ks and things, but they weren't able to do that to the ABLE account for a bunch of other reasons. So I got Eric Schmidt, the senator from Missouri, to join me, and this bill wasn't originally bipartisan, but now it is, as well as Senator Moran of Kansas. And what this bill does is say that employers can contribute to the life-changing accounts directly to an ABLE account if that's what the person wants, instead of a 401k or retirement plan, so they can have that choice. Allowing employers to contribute to workers' ABLE accounts offers Americans another way to grow their savings and strengthen their economic independence, ensuring success in the workplace. And our legislation is simply building on the success we've already seen with the ABLE accounts. And the bill has bipartisan authors in the House as well, Sharice Davids, who's a Democrat from Kansas, and Brian Fitzpatrick, who's a Republican from Pennsylvania. So we have bills that have been referred to both the Senate Finance Committee and House Ways and Means. And like I said, I'm usually good at passing bills, especially if they don't cost any government money. So, but what this does is it flips the tax code some to create an incentive and allows employers to do something that they can't do right now. So our state has always been a treasured state when it comes to people with disabilities. We're the state that sent Hubert Humphrey to the Senate, where he was the leader in fighting for equal treatment for people with disabilities. Then when he became vice president, Walter Mondale picked up the fight. He pushed for the passage of the Rehabilitation Act by recounting the story of a woman with arthritis who was denied a job on a college campus because the trustees thought, and this was a quote, normal students shouldn't see her. Think of how far we've come. Then the late Senator David Dernberger, and I shared this at his funeral a few years back, he then took up what was even a harder mantle and was the lead Republican on the Americans with Disabilities Act, which obviously passed with the leadership of Tom Harkin, our neighbor to the south, and of course, Paul Wellstone then took on the fight for mental health parity. So that is quite a legacy of Minnesota senators on both sides of the aisle working on these issues. And so it's just an honor to stand in their footsteps and take this on. So to hear more about this, we're going to hear from Heidi Birch, who's the Director of Career Planning here for a number of years. was very proud of some of the new space they have to modernize the space for the careers of today and not yesterday. And then we get to hear from Jody McCardle, who is a De La Salle High School graduate, very cool place, and works at Goodwill, and is going to talk about why these ABLE accounts and some of the changes to the ABLE accounts are so important. So I'll turn it over to Heidi.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here to celebrate the reintroduction of this ABLE Employment Flexibility Act. For Fraser's CP&E, our Career Planning and Employment Program, we really focus on individuals with disabilities, helping them find a job. And one of my responsibilities is to understand the resources out there that can support them with that job. And ABLE accounts are one of those wonderful resources that I'm happy to share with people. Helping people with disabilities find employment is a lot more than just looking at what their interests are and their skills are and helping them find a job. There are so many complex and daunting things to consider, including self-advocacy, knowing about yourself and what your needs are, being able to communicate at work well, build your confidence. You have to think about disclosure and what that means for you and the legalities of it. And you have to think about what your work schedule is going to be and how you can work it around your medical appointments, your healthcare appointments, your support staff appointments, which all happen Monday through Friday in the daytime. You have to think about transportation, and you have to understand what your disability benefits are and what are those restrictions related to those benefits. So, like Peter, many of the people that we work with really do want to be self-sufficient and financially independent, and they want to do that through their work. And those disability benefits restrictions can sometimes make a hurdle for them that's difficult to get over. So that's where those ABLE accounts come in. I love introducing ABLE accounts to people because they do want to be saved. They want to spend their money on other things. They want to mostly know that they're okay in the future. And circling back to Peter a little bit, one of his big goals when he started with us in 2018 was that he wanted to be as independent as possible. Financial independence has always been important to him, but he also wanted to move out of a group home and live in his own apartment. It took him 6 years, but he was able to do that because of his ABLE account, and he had that resource available. He knew he had some money there if he lost his job, and he could pay for his rent. So Peter gave me permission to share a story, but he made me promise to thank you personally. He's a huge fan. He really appreciates all your advocacy and support for Minnesotans with disability. So I'd like to introduce Jody McCardle. She's going to talk more about her experience with ABLE accounts.
Okay. Well,
Ready?
thank you. Ready, Jody?
Come on up.
There we are. Thank you.
Pardon me. I like to have an ABLE account because I feel capable, and it teaches me how to save for bigger purchases or in case something happens to me.
Okay.
So basically when I was starting to save,
Yeah, there you go.
basically when I was starting to save my ABLE account at the apartment, I realized that I had money put aside for that, so I decided to use my money for my ABLE account, and with my ABLE account it teaches me how to be independent. If I didn't have the people at the apartment where I used to live set that ABLE account up for me, I don't think I ever would have been able to do it on my own.
Mm-hmm. Right. Good.
How do you spell your name?
Jodie.
Thanks, everyone.
Okay. So good. You did really good. You answered it better than me.
But you'll have to hire her.
Okay, thanks. And we'll get back to you on
the
that.
number for.
Yeah, I don't think there's a big cap because it's just like everything else.
Yeah, I think they can do up to 100,000, I believe. Heidi, is that correct?
Yeah.
Without
100,000.
having tax implications
Oh,
or
that's
something.
100,000 a year or
No,
100,000 total.
Total, I think.
Yeah,
I
and
think
we'll
it's 19,000, but I do think it just went up.
Well,
Yeah.
I think for an employed person, it's different. They get more. They get 15,000
Oh,
Yeah,
hence
yeah.
my
more.
inability to
Right.
immediately
It changes
answer
all
your
the time.
question.
Yes.
Okay.
I think it's 34 a year.
We
if
will
you're
get
employed.
to all
Yeah.
the answers picture of all three of you? Okay,
Absolutely.
thank you.
Do we want to get a quick photo?
Yes.
Yes.
Do that.
I would
Okay.
love that.